multivalent disease, more from a clinical standpoint. What is multivalent disease? Involvement of one or more heart valves, and which, whenever it is clinically significant, it alters natural history of marriage. Causes, most important is rheumatic heart disease. Other cardiac causes are infective endocarditis, degenerative due to cardiac remodeling or dilatation, due to adverse effects of treatment, which could be thoracic or mediastinal radiation therapy, adverse drug effects, non-cardiac systemic diseases like ESRD, carcinoid syndrome, congenital heart, other diseases like connective tissue disorders like Marfan's, ADS, other rare are trisomy 18, 13, 15, or chromosomes. So, the significant stenosis of multiple valves are usually rheumatic, but significant regurgitation only at multiple valves is generally non-rheumatic, and a combination is usually rheumatic. So, some lesions can suggest etiology. MS in any combination is invariably due to RST. MS plus MR can also be due to calcification in elderly, and multiple regurgitant lesions like MR plus with AR may be due to connective tissue disorder or myxomatous, and TS plus TR with or without pulmonary valve involvement is due to carcinoid. AS plus AR or AS plus MR can be due to degenerative calcific or congenital cause.
Which congenital causes AS plus MR?
Which is AS plus MR. वो शोन हाँ
शोन में कभी regurgitation थोड़ी होता है.
क्लेफ्ट मिट्रल वाल्व कैसे होता है?
Usually it is bicuspid aortic valve associated with MVP.
Okay. हाँ ये तो. Okay. Then to suspect when the patient does not fit into single valve picture according to history, examination, ECG, X-ray, and the presentation time frame is different from the usual natural history. So basic rules are generally the severe lesion dominates and the proximal lesion dominates, like the TS protects or masks the mitral valve or AV lesion, and MS masks the aortic valve lesion. So other things which can modify the presentations are arrhythmias, infective endocarditis, recurrent rheumatic fever, volume overload states like anemia, worsening kidney failure, pressure level states like hypertension, then ischemia leading to LV dysfunction, other like infection pneumonia. Coming to history, so specific symptoms which point towards the dominant lesion can be angina or syncope, especially on exertion in case of AS. Pulmonary symptoms like cough, hemoptysis, PND, autopnea, systemic embolism in case of MS. Effort intolerance of fatigue in MR or TS, palpitations in AR, declining myositis in TS. Coming to patient presenting with two lesions in a single valve, like AS plus AR. So, in predominant AS patient, they will have symptoms like AS, which is effort angina or syncope. The pulse will be low and slow rising, along with low pulse pressure. The murmur, systolic murmur will be late peaking. There will be heaving apex LVS4 and apical carotid delay. In predominant AR
and
and
systolic decapitation of BP.
Okay. Systolic decapitation. And the predominant in AR, palpitation is a dominant symptom. To have the typical peripheral signs of white pulse pressure and low diastolic BP, pulses dysphareans, when present as it is a predominant AR, and AR is predominant, then there is long duration of the diastolic murmur. If there is a short early systolic murmur, then also dominant is AR.
ये कहाँ पे attribute होता है short of the systolic?
अरे मतलब AS important नहीं है, इसका मतलब कहने का मतलब ये
नहीं तो ये AS का मर्म बता रहे हो?
नहीं AR का हाँ ये AS का मतलब ऑर्गेनिक नहीं होगा या तो जो छोटा सा वही फंक्शनल स्टेनोसिस जैसा होगा।
अच्छा।
और Austen-Friend murmur and cardiomegaly. Coming to MS plus MR, in predominant MS, they will have initial pulmonary symptoms, which is persistent. In MR, it will be weak fatigability, and the A to OS interval is not very reliable in cases of MS plus MR. And NDM, the more longer the murmur, the more severe the MS, and cardiac enlargement is seen in MR. So this is also tabular form comparing the dominance of MS or MR. If diastolic still is present, which is prolonged, so severe MS, it could be short and is not pre-systolic than MR. If the apex is tapping or RV type, it is more of MS. And if the apex is LV type and hyperkinetic, it's more of MS. You can see OS in MS and ST in MR. PH is much more severe in MS and might be variable in MR. S1 is mostly loud and variable in severe MR. Coming to multivalvular lesion involving multiple valves. So start with AS plus MS. So symptoms of MS generally predominate, but the signs of MS are attenuated. S4 is absent due to MS, and AS murmur is attenuated due to MS. So AS generally presents like a low flow, low gradient AS. Again, the AS is predominant if it typically presents, and I've already told these points. It's important that even mild or moderate MS, LVS score won't be present. Coming to MS plus AR, AR is common in severe MS. Some series even shows about 2/3 of the cases they are present, but only 10% have severe AR. There is volume overload on the LV blunted by MS, and the increased LVDP decreases the MS gradient, and if both are severe, both are underestimated. Coming to MS, again it presents as END, apex could be tapping, and typically if the MDM has a long murmur with the systolic part, it is severe, and no cardiomegaly points towards MS. In AR, again the peripheral signs, the variance, and cardiomegaly points towards the dominant AR. And if there is an MDM at apex, you need to differentiate between MS and Austen-Friend. In MS, we will have typically loud S1, diastolic thrill, and OS, pre-systolic stimulation, and atrial fibrillation if present is more towards MS. In AR, there will be peripheral signs and cardiomegaly. This is also showing the same. So if a diastolic thrill is present, it will be generally prolonged and much more prominent. Apex will be RV type and tapping.
See, usually RV and tapping does not go together.
No, RV type and tapping, they won't come together. Either RV type or tapping.
Or tapping, yeah.
So added sounds could be OS in MS and ST in Austen-Friend. PH is generally severe and more severe in MS. S1 is generally loud. Hand grip, MS decreases and osmosis decreases.
So hand grip से क्यों decrease होगा MS?
MS का hand grip से pressure preload कम हो रहा है.
Yeah. अच्छा isometric exercise ना hand grip. After load ही बढ़ेगा इससे बस.
After load बढ़ेगा तो इधर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा.
हाँ. या तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा या बढ़ेगा. कम तो क्यों होगा? लेंगे सर आ गए क्या? आ गए सर.
Coming to MR plus AS. So due to AS there will be higher LV systolic pressure, which will lead to more MR, which will be manifested as louder and more prominent murmur. And due to more MR, the forward flow decreases. Then the AS murmur becomes less prominent. And otherwise, the MR generally overestimates LV ejection fraction, so it can mask the LV diastolic LV systolic dysfunction caused by AS. And in AS, as the in severe AS, it worsens degree of MR. So in cases of predominant AS, we'll have typical pulse, lit, peaking, systolic murmur, peaking apex, LVS4, and paradoxical split S2. And after a long cycle of AS murmur generally increases, but there is no increase in MR. Then in MR, pulse is low volume, quick rising.
Again, this is a controversial statement. It is brisk rising. Volume is usually normal.
In severe MR.
If yeah. Either see the confusion is between high volume or normal volume. Low volume तो कहीं से भी नहीं होगी ना अगर.
चलो low volume नहीं लिखना चाहिए तो.
हाँ, it will be normal volume.
और खाली quick rising बोल सकते. Okay. Then hello.
Hello.
हाँ.
Sorry, मैं थोड़ा सा late हो गया था.
ठीक है.
What have we covered?
Sir, we were discussing MS का murmur hand grip से क्या होता है?
अगर posture wise चलें तो MS का murmur decreases on standing क्योंकि venous return कम हो जाएगा standing से. और the only thing is कि अगर left atrial myxoma होगा, it becomes more prominent on standing. This is classical for MS. Otherwise, मतलब posture की बात करें तो MS में अगर कुछ difference आता है between mitral stenosis and left atrial myxoma को differentiate करने के लिए, you make the patient supine. और कोई किसी भी condition में venous return कम होगा तो murmur decrease कर जाएगा, जबकि myxoma का murmur becomes slightly better. अब second का you said hand grip.
Hand grip increases after load.
Increase करेगा.
Increases the afterload. So if it increases the afterload, murmur should actually decrease, ना?
हाँ sir, decrease क्योंकि LA LV gradient कम हो जाएगा.
But as such, it is not very classical that you talk of MS का murmur with the hand grip. कोई venous return के angle से बात जरूर करते हैं. But theoretically you expect it to decrease.
Moving forward, coming to this effect of atrial fibrillation. So, if there is a beat-to-beat variation in the murmur intensity, generally AS in MR generally doesn't decrease or intensity doesn't change. Coming to AR plus MR, It is the exception to the rule that generally proximal predominates. In AR, generally it predominates. And in severe MR, mild to moderate AR is well tolerated. But in severe AR, even mild MR worsens due to further LV dilatation. So similarly, AR plus MR, in AR the peripheral signs would be predominant and the vascular will be long. And in MR, again this I will correct it. Pulse volume would be normal and it will be quick and with a wide split S2 due to LDA2 and S3 and AF. Coming to tricuspid valve disease, they generally have a long history of symptoms.
कहाँ से from where have you prepared this actually?
There are multiple sources actually. ट्रिपल एम सर एक ट्रिपल एम का लेक्चर था, एक डॉक्टर प्रभावती का लेक्चर था और ब्रांच में थोड़ा सा दे दीजिए एंड केसी ग्राउंड तो थोड़ा क्योंकि ये कहीं पे भी सर बहुत अच्छी तरह डिटेल में डिस्कस
ये उसमें अच्छा दे रखा है प्रश्न एल्बर्ट का
एल्बर्ट में हाँ एल्बर्ट नहीं पढ़ा इसको नहीं पढ़ा
ठीक है लेट्स कंटिन्यू
then okay tricuspid valve disease generally have long history of symptoms improvement in symptoms of PVH lead to less dyspnea PND orthopnea hemoptysis and increasing symptoms of RHF and nearly always are associated with mitral valve or with AV disease. Tricuspid regurgitation majority are functional and cause due dilatation of the annulus and secondary to left side lesions, but the organic one have direct involvement tricuspid valve and generally associated with mitral valve and RHD. We can have predominant JVP in predominant V wave, tricuspid regurgitation, particle pulsations, and pansystolic murmur which increases on aspiration and passive liberation. Coming to difference between high pressure and low pressure TR, the murmur is in high pressure is generally pansystolic, whereas low pressure is generally early systolic. Pitch is high and low. The shape is generally the center of the pansystolic. Murmur P2 is loud with high pressure TR, and GVP will show CJC. Coming to TS, it is generally missed. Generally, it is invariably associated with MS, whose signs are dominant and masked TS. And it may cause incorrect assessment severity of other coexisting lesions. And failure to detect it will lead to lack of improvement after surgery. So they present more due to peripheral edema and situs, which is out of proportion with the pulmonary symptoms. And JVB is important, which has giant A waves with a slow wide descent. You might have a pulsatile liver, which will have pre-systolic pulsations. And pH obviously is less. The murmur of TS is in the low left sternal bottom. It has metastatic murmur with pre-systolic component and increases on inspiration.
Also, liver pulsations are late diastolic in TS and
Pre-systolic.
systolic in
Okay, then the effect of TS and TR on left-sided lesions. If TR and TS are severe, then there is a reduced RV stroke volume and cardiac output, so which leads to LA volume decrease and MS is underestimated. And the low LV stroke volume ensures that there is exaggerated low volume pulse of AS, but the murmur of AS decreases, and PR is also similarly underestimated. Coming to investigational caveats, in multivalvular regions. So generally, the Doppler echocardic methods that we know are validated in single valve regions, but not in multivalvular disease. And methods that depend less on loading conditions are preferred, such as direct telemetry for somatic valve. So this is just a diagram which compares and tells about the impact on the diagnosis of the combination of diseases. So in the presence of AS, if there is AR, then there will be prolonged pressure of time. If LVH is there with impaired relaxation. In MR, there will be high interventricular pressure, result in higher regurgitant volume, and ERO will be less affected. With MS, there will be a low flow, low gradient, yes, and prolonged PHT, impaired ventricular relaxation. So we need to go through this table, which we can take it. Coming to management, there is lack of data on combined and multivalvular disease, and so this does not allow for evidence-based recommendations. But there are a few general principles. Whenever there is either stenosis or regurgitation, which is predominant, the management follows the recommendations concerning the predominant valvular heart disease. And when the severity of both stenosis and regurgitation is balanced, the indication for intervention should be based on symptoms and objective consequences rather than indices of the valve. And in this setting, consideration of pressure gradient that reflects the hemodynamic burden of the valve region becomes more important than the valve area, and the measures of regurgitation for the assessment of disease. It is also necessary to take into account the different interactions, like that we have just stated, MS, AS, or ASMR, and we need to combine different measurements, and we know that in these cases, if possible, use methods which are less dependent on loading conditions. And indication for interventions are based upon the global assessment of consequences of different valve regions. So we have to take into account the first or the second valve which we are trying to repair or replace. And the intervention can be considered for non-severe multiple lesions associated with symptoms of or leading to LV impairment. And obviously, as the valve number of valves increase, which we intervene, the mortality increases. STS data states that aortic is around 4% in alone aortic, and alone mitral valve around 6%, but both combined around 9.6% mortality. The choice of surgical technique should take into account the presence of other valvular heart disease, and repair remains an ideal option. Thank you. Hello.
You finished? Go to tricuspid stenosis. एक बार tricuspid stenosis discuss नहीं होता ना?
Yes, sir.
So what are the causes where you can have tricuspid stenosis? Because it will be common, no? But
Yes, sir.
tricuspid stenosis, but you are not able to appreciate the tricuspid stenosis murmur. What are the causes?
So, sir, the concomitant, there will be a concomitant MS, in which it will predominate. Hello. And
इससे क्या होगा? If there is a concomitant MS, what happens to the tricuspid stenosis murmur?
Tricuspid stenosis is.
So what are the because this is a common question, no? कि tricuspid stenosis murmur will be less appreciated और इतना commonly appreciate नहीं होता है. So what are the conditions where you will appreciate it less? When you said is rheumatic associated mitral stenosis, agreed, but how?
But because it increases RV speed.
Because it leads to increased RV and diastolic pressures, RV pressures. So tricuspid stenosis, the gradient is not as high as on the left side, no? So the murmur is not very well appreciated.
Yes.
Also, whenever you get a diuretic therapy,
Yes, patient is on
then
diuretics
tricuspid stenosis is graded, or patient is in atrial fibrillation,
or dehydrated.
or there is a Epstein anomaly. So why tricuspid? I specifically asked because tricuspid murmur उसमें लिखा होगा उनकी इको रिपोर्ट में tricuspid stenosis है, but तुम तो कभी एग्जाम में बोलोगे नहीं. Practically you are not going to speak most of the time of tricuspid stenosis in your exam. It is rare, na?
Right.
Then he will ask you. Suppose it is TS and you are not able to appreciate what are the causes.
What are the causes of TS and TR?
So TS, carcinoid syndrome, drug-induced, like
Most important is rheumatoid.
rheumatic. मतलब TS and TR. Rheumatic, carcinoid, drugs like methotrexate,
अच्छा,
and
इसकी जगह you just talk of conditions where there is a diastolic murmur across the tricuspid valve. What are the causes which cause tricuspid? Once you will say obstruction. Obstruction you have said is rheumatic first, then you said is what?
so carcinoid.
The third?
So drugs like fenfluramine,
Congenital.
methotrexate, congenital.
Congenital
Talk of
tricuspid.
right atrial mixer. Like right atrial tumors, myxomas, and lastly Epstein. So what are the one is obstruction. What are the other causes where you get a tricuspid flow murmur? Oh, मैं खुद ही बोल रहा हूँ. What are the causes where you get the tricuspid diastolic murmur?
The pre-tricuspid volume overload. Front lesions.
Yeah, pre-tricuspid shunt lesions. What are the differential diagnoses of pre-tricuspid shunt lesions?
Sir, ASD, PVC, and
Or जल्दी
RSOV2RA
RSOV2RA.
or
TAPVC,
LV2RA,
LV2RA.
coronary or fistula to RA.
coronary fistula.
What are the other causes? One you said is obstruction. Second you said is increased load. Causes of diastolic murmur is the diastolic area. Third, functional murmur, na, associated with severe TR.
Severe TR.
What are the murmurs which can? There are certain murmurs which can get selectively heard in the tricuspid area. Severe PR, Austin Flint, MS, PR murmur, they all can be heard in the same area.
Okay, अब coming to causes of TR, क्या causes बताते हो? TS के हो गए.
So TR mostly is functional. Organic causes again include rheumatic, carcinoid.
वो तो नहीं हो गया है.
Infective endocarditis.
Infective endocarditis, IV drug abuse.
IV drug abuse. Infective endocarditis.
Yeah. Manjit, mute yourself. चलो.
IV
IV drug abuse. Or most important is trauma, blunt trauma.
Trauma. The most anterior most.
Go to the anterior most valve.
Anterior most तो pulmonary होगा.
पता नहीं, but TR is most common post-traumatic.
Most common valve injured in trauma is a tricuspid valve.
Right.
Big anterior valve which is there.
And one more pacemaker lead you forgot.
Pacemaker lead. मतलब any. Pacemaker lead.
ठीक है. Coming to management, you give us some examples. What will you choose?
Okay. Suppose
MS plus AS, MS plus AR.
We discuss. Let's discuss AS plus MR.
Okay.
So we know that there is increase in PDP, which begets MR, increases MR. But if it's generally seen, there is MR could be normalized after AVR, especially if L is not much dilated, there is no atrial fibrillation, and there is no PVH much. So in condition mein the mitral valve, MVR, mitral regurgitation could get better. But if these conditions are present, then you have to consider then mitral valve repair.
So what is the
Replacement.
peri-procedural mortality of MVR, AVR, and DVR?
Yeah, that's what I said. Told. The MVR is 6%, AVR is around 4%, and DVR is
The
around
AVR is
9.6%.
around 3%, MVR is around 6, and DVR is around 9.
9.6.
So what you have to do is you have to always try to preserve mitral valve wherever there is a double valve thing. So
Yeah.
now if there is MS associated with ASAR, then you just do a BMP on MS
BMP.
and replace the other valve. Similarly, in MVR also we will try to avoid MVR as much as possible. So if
Right.
the etiology is MVP, we can just go and we can repair it.
Repair it. Yeah.
In rheumatic,
Yeah.
most of the times it is unrepairable, then you have to replace.
Right.
And same also they asked if there is a aortic stenosis associated coag, then what will you do first? What will you do later?
Hello. Yeah. So the
If
coag
there
should
is
be
associated coag,
handled first. Distal lesion handled first, then reassess the proximal lesion.
coag अगर repair
coag
coag balloon
पहले.
कर दिया तो AS क्या होगा? Severe होगा कि?
AS तो जो पहले gradient इतना नहीं था, अब gradient बढ़ जाएगा.
हाँ, तो it will become more severe ना.
So
automatically if there is severe AS on coag तो फिर तो और severe ही होगा, वो कम severe थोड़ी हो जाएगा.
हाँ, तो पहले क्या करना चाहिए? ये कम तो नहीं होगा, क्योंकि पहले तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं आ रहा होगा, और ये तो gradient आ ही नहीं रहा होगा ज़्यादा.
Sorry, क्या है discussion?
Sir, if we are discussing whether if there is a severe AS, severe coag situation, then how to proceed?
This is a very common situation and good question. Always the distal lesions are handled first.
To be handled first.
So always you tackle coarctation and reassess your gradient across the aortic valve. Similarly, if there is AR or coarctation, you first handled coarctation and then reassess the aortic regurgitation, and then tackle it. Normally, what surgeon do is the best way is they can get the coarctation stented and then reassess the aortic stenosis. They have done it ऐसा नहीं है. We have seen many such cases. In fact, एक dentist है रायपुर से. He came for AVR, turned out to be severe coarctation. He stented the came for AR, severe AR, and we stented the coarctation, and AR actually reduced. He's still under follow-up. Moderate AR, no LV dilatation increase. Is in follow-up. So always distal lesion first and reassess the proximal.
सर एक्चुअली AR के कंडीशन में काफी ठीक लगता है. AS के कंडीशन में सर कैसे करना, मतलब क्योंकि वो
AS में आप AS का जो ग्रेडियंट होगा वो मोस्ट लाइकली अंडर एस्टिमेट कर रहे होंगे.
हाँ सर इनिशियली.
तो and
सर्जरी के बाद बढ़ेगा.
And so most of the time what happens is, suppose there are two options to tackle this ना, कि suppose आपने aortic stenosis पहले tackle कर लिया, अगर आपने AVR करना है surgically, तो coarctation gradient is going to increase.
Right.
Then ventilator, you can get easily stuck on the ventilator. While coarctation has to be handled percutaneously. Now suppose आप बोलो मैं BAV करूँगा, अगर BAV करना है तो वहाँ जाने के लिए भी तो आपको ideal would be actually to handle a coarctation first. There will be a condition where the patient is very sick. जैसे हमारा वो 13-year-old patient आया था जिसको जो क्रैश कर गया था.
तो critical AS हो गया अगर.
Critical AS with severe coarctation. उस condition में you first go from the axilla, open up the aortic valve, salvage your ventricle first, and then subsequently you do a coarctation. Otherwise, always a distal lesion first, unless the patient is critically sick, and then you have to tackle this.
So in that case, do we go like transatrial septum?
Retrograde.
So we go retrograde, na sir?
Retrograde is always preferable, no? So first option would be retrograde. हाँ ह्यूमरल से ना जाके एक्सिलर से जा सकते हो, ब्रेकियल से जा सकते हो. If you are not able to cross, then the option remains to go transseptal puncture and then go antegrade. But हमेशा
But you can
balloon का
always
course,
go. Yes, you can always go by brachial or radial or
but हमेशा preferable balloon का course. मतलब अगर आप transseptal जाके balloon ये course से लेके जाते हो intrathecal septum then LV then RVOT, so it interferes with the subvalvular apparatus and you have some concern about trapping the balloon with the subvalvular apparatus and cause MR. So अगर आप AV loop बनाते हो ऐसे में भी तो भी आप externalize करके wire को आप you want to go retrograde from the arterial side and then take a balloon. It's a shorter course. You understand, no?
yes, sir.
अगर आप ट्रांससेप्टल भी जाते हो, आप ट्रांससेप्टल क्रॉस करने के लिए यूज कर लेते हो, but still many people after doing this, most of the people after this will still take the balloon from the arterial side, unless it's a very big balloon and the patient is small. Most of the time, transseptal is done in bigger patients.
Dr. Shashank, इसका क्या करोगे? TR का, how will you manage TR in MS in ASCR?
So again, अगर severe TRA annulus is more than 40, hello, then we
Yeah.
plan for a repair, which is
Annuloplasty.
annuloplasty.
So 40 is the cutoff limit now.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
centers are
If
saying even to decrease it to 35. I don't know.
So most of the time, if there is an annular dilatation associated with this, you will counsel the patient of a probable tricuspid valve intervention. But if there is no significant annular dilatation and there is severe MR, then after mitral valve, you can reassess the TR and then take a decision because TR gets excited by mitral stenosis.
Right.
So underlying organic problem you need to see. But this organic valves are thickened, rolled out, and there is annular dilatation, then of course it will require intervention.
Chalo, what about MVR in HCM, HCM condition? What is the indication to do MVR?
So MVR in HOCM.
Because that is also
again,
a
yeah,
AS plus
That is-
MR like situation, na?
yeah. So again, obviously the MR will decrease after we have done procedure.
So before deciding, how will you
mammectomy.
decide? How will you
Yeah.
decide? Whether what features of MR will tell you whether this lesion is organic or it is due to HCM?
Obviously, मतलब we see mitral valve annular dilatation and annular dilatation won't be there.
Annular dilatation.
Annular dilatation
So
is most likely it is the direction of jet. So posterior directed jets are usually due to HCM or dynamic obstruction. Whereas central directed jets, as we see it on TE
Yeah,
or
those are due to annular
translucent,
dilatation.
yeah, they are usually organic. So that is why even peroperatively we put a TE probe in surgical myectomy to see and to evaluate HCM after we cut off the muscle. Like after we cut the muscle, we can evaluate mitral valve.
So posterior directed jet.
Posterior
More
directed jet are because of HOCM. If the jet is centrally directed or anteriorly directed, then most likely it's a organic thing.
अच्छा, what are the components of a pericardial rub?
There
ये rub हमारा कभी discuss नहीं हुआ.
are 3 components.
What are those?
Systolic, diastolic, and presystolic.
So early diastolic,
there is
late
a
diastolic,
patient,
and systolic.
there is a patient of suspected acute rheumatic fever, and definitely you would like to auscultate the rub. What is the way you examine for a pericardial rub? How do you examine a patient for a pericardial rub?
So lying down, then change, मतलब auscultate it over the apex or towards the left posternal border, then try to change the position. You can make the patient sitting also. तो उसमें character भी हमारा थोड़ा change होगा. But
Pericardial rub is generally pericardial का जहाँ ट्रीटमेंट कौन से पॉइंट पे सबसे ज्यादा होता है? AV ग्रूव के आसपास ज्यादा होता है and outflows के ऊपर ज्यादा close होता है. So best way to is to you make the patient sit in a leaning forward position,
Yes.
and here with the diaphragm of a stethoscope, which is pressed very close. जब भी तुम्हें बोला जाए कि pericardial rub जरा demonstrate करो, तुम्हें सुनाई दे रहा है कि नहीं, you ask the patient to make him sit in a leaning forward position and then use a diaphragm to auscultate for the pericardial rub. What is the effect
And
of
sir, it has to be
pericardial?
auscultated along the left sternal border.
Yeah, on the left sternal border ideally. इसका क्या होता है? What suppose there is a significant pericardial effusion. So will your pericardial rub disappear always, or what happens to the pleural rub with pleural effusion? What happens to pericardial rub with pericardial effusion?
So if there is
Remember?
significant and it is general, तो sir disappear हो जाएगा। अगर generalized है, localized effusion नहीं है, मतलब pericardial, तो disappear होना चाहिए।
So usually pericardial rub, I think, disappear with increased pericardial fluid, and pleural it is ulta.
Unlike pleural, which is absent in case of large pleural effusion. Fusion होती है तो pleural rub disappear कर जाती है. Pericardial rub continues to be present in spite of a significant effusion also. In fact, in tamponade में also you must auscultate because it may be present because it's like a money bag and it tends to settle in areas where it is dependent. Otherwise, it is very. If you make the patient sit in a forward position, there are certain areas which will still be very close. So pericardial rub may be present in spite of effusion. There is a established rheumatic heart pericarditis you are suspecting. I mean rheumatic fever. So what is classical for pericardial rub? What is the relation with chest pain?
So chest pain is radiating towards the trapezius. Pericarditis pain is radiated towards the trapezius.
Agar if you have a chest pain and the history is important, na?
Yes, sir.
Chest pain
And
with pericarditis is favor of inflammatory philology. Chest
Right,
pain which is occurs after 24-48 hours is suggestive of post MIE. This is the difference between MIE pericarditis and this wala pericarditis.
okay, sir. Okay.
Suppose there is a patient of myocardial infarction and you are getting a pericardial rub. What does it indicate?
Sir, that means there is subtransmural हो गया सर उसको और पेरिकार्डियम में इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है या कई बार एट्रियल इंफार्क्शन के साथ भी पेरिकार्डिटिस ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व होता है एंड
पोस्ट MI फीवर भी तो होता है.
Yeah, Dressler syndrome.
Dressler syndrome, but that is
Dressler
the
syndrome.
weeks
Basically, between 6 to 10 days.
So it can be acute, it can be transmural, it can be Dressler syndrome after this. So then you are not giving anticoagulants. Na?
yes sir.
और क्या रह गया हमारा मरमज में?
बाकी हाँ अभी तो AR-MR होना है.
अभी तो सर है AR-MR दोनों बाकी है इस वीक. सर नेक्स्ट वीक से प्लान ये है कि मंडे विल बी अ ऑस्की बेस्ड क्विज डन बाय डॉक्टर शशांक 25 क्वेश्चंस एंड वेडनेसडे फ्राइडे विल कीप क्लास.
ठीक है. वेडनेसडे फ्राइडे ठीक है. फ्राइडे
लतिका से
जल्दी
मेरी
हमारा ट्यूसडे फ्राइडे तो
हेलो.
अच्छा. हाँ लतिका से बात हो गई.
हाँ लतिका से मेरी बात हुई थी. वो थर्सडे के लिए बोल रही थी. उसको बोल देंगे वेडनेसडे कर लेगी. नहीं तो थर्सडे कर लेंगे अपन. उसके हिसाब से कर लेंगे नॉर्मल.
नेक्स्ट वीक ही करेगी वो बिकॉज़ वो स्पॉट आई थॉट दैट स्पॉटर्स के लिए अच्छा है, इंपॉर्टेंट है वो टाइप ऑफ वेल्स. सो आई कॉल्ड हर अप एंड आई वांटेड टू आस्क
या आई वेंट हॉस्पिटल. आज मेरे को मिली थी.
तो उनकी कॉन्ड्यूट्स पे हो चुकी है, उनकी इस पे अभी नहीं हुई है. सो आई थिंक वो वेल्स पे वी शुड नो द टाइप ऑफ वेल्स. नो एक्सरेज ईसीजी टाइप ऑफ वेल्स. उसके बाद वो बच जाएगा एंजियोस कैथ डेटा.
Monday we'll keep a OSCE based 25 question का quiz every Monday because अब एग्जाम भी ऐसी होगी ना.
ठीक है.
तो वो डॉक्टर शशांक will do and वो आपको दिखा देंगे. आप उनको भेज देना थोड़े से जो आपके पास हो PPT.
Pediatric का
17th today is what 15th 16th 17th को वो एक we have to complete the x-rays ना and discuss the x-rays also.
जी सर.
25
That
वो
we
भी
can
भेज
do
देना.
बीच में कभी भी.
वो actually I have asked उधर हैदराबाद में ना उसको to be there with जो इसके साथ है डॉक्टर
ठीक है
राव
सर.
के साथ डॉक्टर सुमा राजू के साथ में है वो जो केयर में
केयर वाले.
हाँ तो
कौन सर?
उन क्या नाम है ये तो एक्सरे में ही विल बी देयर सो लेट्स टेक हिज इनपुट ना एक्सरेज जो वो प्रेजेंट करेंगे ही विल बी देयर फॉर ऑल द एक्सरेज.
ठीक है. ठीक है सर.
वेडनेसडे को सर अब एक्सरे का करना है.
चलो मैं बताता हूँ ना, बात करते हैं 17th के बाद हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में रख लेंगे ना, वो अलग से रख लेंगे उसको, थर्सडे को रख लेंगे.
हाँ जब भी उसको पहले इन्फॉर्म करना होगा तो पहले बता देना.
ठीक है. थैंक यू सर.
थैंक यू सो मच.
Bye.